2024 has been the year of elections, with over 60 countries going to polls to elect their heads of state or government. The results, however, have indicated that 2024 is a tough year for incumbents. While the far right has stayed strong in some cases, cultural polarization and the impact of international conflicts on domestic politics contributed to some of the results as well. A new essay by the Pew Research Center analyzed 4 of its own reports, 3 published in 2024 and 1 from 2022, to make sense of this year's elections around the globe. Hello and welcome to ThePrint. My name is Keshav Padmanabhan, and in this video I will tell you what the Pew Research Center has indicated in its analysis. Firstly, incumbents who went to elections in 2024 have either lost power or returned with reduced majorities around the globe. This phenomenon is true for India, where the Prime Minister Narendra Modi-led Bharatiya Janata Party lost its majority in elections earlier this year, and in the United States, where the Democrats lost the White House and the US Congress. Among other countries, the essay noted that in the UK, the Labour Party returned to power after 14 years, with political power swinging from the conservative to the left. South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol's party lost its majority in the National Assembly. Opposition parties in Ghana, Portugal, Panama, and Uruguay also won their respective elections. The election results in South Korea led to one of the most dramatic outcomes, with President Yoon imposing martial law in early December to fight what he called a parliamentary dictatorship by the opposition. However, within hours, the National Assembly had voted to lift the martial law, which Yoon accepted. Since then, he has survived an impeachment motion last week, but may not survive the second one this Saturday. Courts have banned him from traveling abroad, and his former defense minister is under arrest. In another upset documented by Pew, in Botswana, for the first time in 58 years, saw a change in government, with the Botswana Democratic Party losing the presidential election and reduced to just 4 seats in the parliament. In South Africa, the African National Congress, which has led the country since 1994, or the end of the apartheid, lost its governing majority for the first time. Similarly, in Japan, the ruling Liberal Democratic Party and its coalition partner, the Komeito, lost their majority this year. In France, the snap election called by President Emmanuel Macron ended in a fractured mandate. The answer to the question as to why the results have played out the way they have, according to the Pew Research Center, surrounds the economy. Economic challenges is the common factor that made it a tough year for incumbents. Citing an earlier Pew report published in June, the essay pointed out that 64% of its respondents across 34 countries rated their economies negatively. In the June survey, 82% of South Koreans rated their economy negatively, and 76% of Japanese respondents expressed the same sentiment. Even Sri Lanka, which went to elections later in the year, saw 7 in 10 respondents rate their economy less than favorably. All of them are countries where incumbents have faced setbacks or lost power completely. Dissatisfaction with democratic systems have been another reason for a tough year for ruling parties. Published in June, a different Pew survey found that 54 respondents surveyed across 31 countries are dissatisfied with the way their democracy was working. In the US, 68% were dissatisfied with their democracy and its functioning. At the time of the survey, the Democrats controlled the White House and the Senate and had only roughly 10 fewer seats than the Republicans in the House of Representatives. However, by November, all of it changed, with President-elect Donald J. Trump winning the White House and the Republican Party winning both the Senate and the House of Representatives, completing the trifecta of control in America. In France, 65% of the respondents were dissatisfied with how their democracy had been functioning, with the far left and the far right making gains in the elections earlier this year. The economic challenges have seen populism become a mainstay in Western democracies, be it left or right wing. France, Romania, Portugal, Germany, Austria, and the UK have all seen far-right and right-wing populists gain ground, following the frustrations with the political class within those countries. The European parliamentary election saw France's National Rally, led by far-right firebrand Marine Le Pen, win 31.5% of votes. In Romania, a right-wing candidate, Călin Georgescu, received the most votes in the first round of its presidential elections. Ceausescu, a dark horse candidate, allegedly received support from Russia, and the constitutional courts annulled the results of the first round of votes. In Germany, the Alternative for Deutschland won a state election, the first time a far-right political party did so since World War II. Reform UK, the party of Nigel Farage, polled around 14% of all votes in the British parliamentary elections. Chega, a far-right party in Portugal, won 50 seats out of 230 in this year's elections, up from 12 in 2022 and just 1 in 2019, according to the survey by Pew. However, the populist left has also seen few victories in the last year. Mexico's left-wing Morena party won the presidency for the second straight time, in line with the popularity of outgoing President Andrés Manuel López Obrador. Morena also won outright majorities in both legislative chambers in Mexico. In Sri Lanka, Anura Kumara Dissanayake, considered by many to be a left-wing populist, stormed to victory as the 10th president of the country. In the 2019 elections, he won only 3% of the total votes polled. When he ran for president in 2024, he became the president of the country. Whether on the right or left, populist parties have been able to capitalize on voters' frustrations with elites and the belief shared by many that establishment parties and leaders are out of touch with ordinary citizens, noted the essay by Pew. The growth of populist parties across democracies has also led to deepening polarization between culture and identity in several countries. In France, Le Pen's National Rally focuses on defending the country's culture and civilization. In Austria, the Freedom Party, the largest party in the parliament, opposes the rights of the LGBTQIA+ persons. The sharpening polarization has led to culture wars playing across several electorates, especially in the US, where most recently the House of Representatives has seen arguments in support of restrictions on the use of bathrooms by transgender persons after Sarah McBride became the first ever openly transgender lawmaker in the country. The Russia-Ukraine war and Israel's war on Gaza played a significant role in the 2024 elections, according to the Pew essay. In many nations, there are ideological divisions over how to deal with Russia's invasion of Ukraine, with support for Kiev often lower among those on the ideological right, noted the essay by Pew. In Europe, Slovakia saw a pro-Russia president elected earlier this year. The Israel-Gaza conflict has led to tensions within the left. In the UK, the Labour Party lost a few seats to the left, which has been critical of Prime Minister Keir Starmer's stance on Israel. In France, the left stands accused of anti-Semitism by the centrists for its critical stance on Tel Aviv. That's all from me today. For more such news and analysis from ThePrint, click the subscribe button below.